Okay, well, hello again. I want to briefly address writing papers and citing sources. Some of this information is in the syllabus, but I really wanted to draw your attention to this because there have been instances where students have not understood how to present a paper or how to cite sources properly. So first, regarding academic integrity, I've listed a couple of links in the syllabus that you can go to for further information, but I want to make a few things clear. First, about plagiarism. I'm basically going to repeat what is written in the syllabus so that the information has been clearly conveyed. So first, plagiarism occurs when you use someone else's words exactly without putting them in quotations and citing the source, including the page. This applies to complete sentences as well as to phrases. If you are not using an exact quote, you need to put everything in your own words. The OU Academic Integrity sites gives examples of what's allowed, but to be brief, when you paraphrase someone else's words or thoughts, you need to make sure that you have put everything into your own words. In addition, when you use someone else's ideas, even if you don't use their exact quotes, you still need to cite them. So in that same vein, a good paper is not filled with quotes. When you are referring to someone else's ideas, it's best to paraphrase to show that you have thought about these ideas and are able to discuss them without using the person's own words. Your papers should not contain a lot of quotations. The purpose of writing papers is to exhibit your understanding of the material, not an ability to use quotations. A paper should show your own critical thinking about the topic and not be a repetition of what others have said. I'm not saying you can't use quotations at all, but I am saying that the paper should be your own and not the words of other people. We don't have a lot of full-length papers in this class, but still, where we do, your grade for the papers we do have is heavily dependent on writing ability, and I expect the writing to be clear and organized. If you have any doubts or questions whatsoever regarding an assignment or your writing in general, I encourage you to share them with me and with the rest of the class if you are comfortable. We can all benefit from whatever questions you have. So some questions to think about before you start writing anything. Do you know what a thesis statement is? I'm including in the first news section a link that discusses thesis statements. If you are reading this, the link is on the paper you'll be reading. So, and how should you organize a formal paper? The short answer is that you want there to be a logical progression from your introduction and thesis statement to the body of the paper. You also want to have a conclusion that brings everything together. A couple of things that I'd like to put forth here is that in your introduction, I am not looking for statements that say things such as, quotation, I decided to write this paper on blank because of blank. Or when I was thinking about what to do with this paper, I thought that blank would be a good topic. These are not things that I want to see in your papers. I'm looking for a strong introduction that states up front what the paper is about. I'm not interested in why you chose a topic. I'm just interested in what the topic is. Papers should progress clearly from your introduction, which should provide an outline of what your paper will be presenting. I also want to mention that OU does have a writing center and that they are available both in person and through the internet. One thing to know is that if you send something to them online, it will likely take a couple of days until they get back to you. Again, if you have any doubts about what you are writing, I am happy to give you guidance at any time. And that's what I have to say.